Today's invocation will be given by Pastor Kirkland Hall of Mount Gilead Missionary Baptist Church. If everyone would please silence your cell phone, and if you so choose, please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Mayor. Let us pray. Eternal God, our Father, we thank you for today. God, we thank you for your grace and your mercy. God, we ask that you would come fresh in this room and give us a mindset to do your work and your will. Lord, we ask that you would touch this agenda. Lord, be with us, be our minds. Lord, give us creativity, give us a mindset of unity, and let the end result be that of which can be a testimony to your work and your will. We thank you, and it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have roll call, please?
Mayor West.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Turner.
Here.
Councilmember Durio.
Here.
Councilmember Hilliard. Here. Councilmember Williams. Here. Councilmember Sherwood. Here. And Councilmember Crenshaw.
Here.
Thank you.
Today we have a presentation by our City of Beaumont Communication Department.
Good afternoon. In this week's announcements, we have some good news to report with our new hires from our Beaumont Fire Rescue Department. Thanks to the community response, we have filled 22 of the 25 vacant positions. 7 entered our fire academy, 11 entered the EMT course, and 4 dual certified firefighters were hired. This is great news for the new fire rescue EMTs and for the entire community. We also want to thank our ZIP Transit and community partners who stepped up to help our unhoused and their pets during the recent Arctic blast. We were told area shelters were able to adequately meet all of the needs of those seeking shelter during this time, so we are definitely grateful for that. The city wants your help planning for its future. The Beaumont Comprehensive Plan is a long-range roadmap that will help guide growth, development, and investment across the city over the next 20 years. To kick things off, we're hosting a community charrette from February 9th through the 13th. And this week of planning brings together residents, partners, and students to share ideas, spark conversations, and it will help shape what's next for the city of Beaumont. For more information, visit planbeaumont.com or scan the QR code to stay connected. The City of Beaumont invites you to join us as we welcome in the Lunar New Year on Thursday, February 19th at 5 p.m. at Riverfront Park in downtown Beaumont. Celebrate the Year of the Horse with an energetic lion dance. This event is free and open to the public. Bring your family and friends and join us for an afternoon of culture, community, and celebration. Texas Independence Day is coming up March 2nd, commemorating the day in 1836 when Texas formally declared its independence from Mexico. To recognize the day, the city's hosting a Texas Independence Day celebration, and everyone is invited to show off your Texas pride. Join us March 2nd at 10:30 a.m. inside the first floor conference room here at Beaumont City Hall. There will be a formal proclamation read along with some awesome Texas history honoring the spirit, grit, and pride of the Lone Star State. We hope to see y'all there as we celebrate 190 years of Texas independence. You also want to be sure to join us on Tuesday, March 24th at 11 a.m. as we take the stage at the historic Jefferson Theater for this year's State of the City, the Beaumont Awards. Take a look.
Coming soon to a theater near you. The lights dim, the red carpet rolls out, and the story of the city takes center stage. This spring, join us for the Beaumont Awards, an Academy Award-style State of the City celebration, honoring the city departments that keep Beaumont running every day. Experience real accomplishments from the past year, a few laughs, and a live question and answer session with city leaders, all in one unforgettable event. It's a program you won't want to miss. Big moments, real results, free concessions and food bites from local vendors. This event is free and open to the public, and everyone is invited to be a part of the celebration as we celebrate the state of the city, Beaumont style. Tuesday, March 24th at 11 a.m. inside the historic Jefferson Theater.
And we also want to say a huge thank you to our presenting sponsor, Entergy, as well as Cruise Events and Golden Triangle Lighting. We appreciate your support, and it's going to be a great event. So save the date. We'll see you Tuesday, March 24th at 11 a.m. at the Jefferson Theater. And finally, we want to give a big Beaumont welcome to Moyle Manor, a new afternoon tea room that just opened at 2090 Broadway Street. It was started by Chef Kimberly Moyle, who has been cooking professionally for 38 years. I was told that she was it Robert Redford's personal chef, Robert Redford's personal chef. And she's bringing a fun tradition of high tea to Beaumont in a beautifully restored historic home. So we're happy to see this new business open in Old Town. We appreciate Chef Moyle for investing in our community and for preserving one of our historic properties. And Chef Moyle is here today, so if you want to stand up, give everybody a wave. And we're going to continue spotlighting new businesses because we want everyone to know that Beaumont is growing and is open for business. And that's all for this week's announcements.
Thank you very much. And for those that are wondering why there's not any proclamations, we are now doing proclamations on the first Tuesday of every month at 10:30 a.m. So we had them this morning. So just for a point of information. And now we're going to move into public comments. And now is the time for anybody that wishes to speak. You may speak on the consent agenda, the regular agenda items, or other than the ones that we talked about, and which is, I believe, number 5, which we've already had a public hearing for in planning and zoning. And with that, also number 5 and number 7 have been pulled. So just as some information, the city clerk will call your name when it's your time to speak. When you approach the podium, please say your address, city, and state if it wasn't already said. You will have 3 minutes for public comments. The green light will come on when you approach the podium, and the red light will come on when your time is up.
Kate Hambright, 7 Chelsea Hollow, Beaumont, Texas.
Good afternoon. My name is Kate Hambright. I'm the Historical Marker Chair of the Jefferson County Historical Commission. I have some excellent news today. As of January 26, 2026, the Temple to the Brave in Pipkins Patriot Park is now officially listed in the National Register of Historic Places, bringing national recognition to its historical and architectural significance. The Colonel George Moffett chapter, Daughters of the American Revolution, constructed the Temple to the Brave in 1931, originally planning the small building as a memorial to our Texas servicemen of World War I and world peace. The Late Gothic Revival Memorial Building features stunning stained glass windows representing the 3 branches of our military during World War I, the Great Seal of the United States encircled by the flags of our allies during that war, as well as scenes of Texas under 6 flags. It is constructed of rough, finished Colorado greenstone granite cladding over common brick, has a high-pitched gable roof, Tudor arch entry and double doors, coins, wooden tracery, pointed arch and circular rose windows, and buttresses on its side and rear elevations. The interior features an open floor plan, vaulted ceiling, oak trusses, oak wainscoting, decorative plasterwork, and terrazzo flooring. At the time of its dedication on October 19, 1932, the DAR expanded their purpose for the Temple to the Brave, dedicating it to Texas servicemen of all wars, and turned the building over to the city and citizens of Beaumont. The DAR has continually operated the Temple's museum since 1932, and today the memorial building remains one of its key service projects. In 2006, the DAR partnered with the City of Beaumont to restore the building. In 2007, the DAR rededicated the Temple to the Brave to American military of all wars. More recently, in 2023, the building was designated as a recorded Texas Historic Landmark by the Texas Historical Commission. Mayor West braved a flood last summer to help us with that marker dedication. Thank you very much for doing that. I could not be more pleased to bring you this good news today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jonathan Bennett, 4630 Collier Street, Beaumont, Texas.
Thank you for allowing me to speak today. My name is Jonathan Bennett. I'm the Community Relations and Fundraising Director for Family Services of Southeast Texas, and I'd like to cordially invite everyone to our 6th annual Clay Shoot fundraiser benefiting survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking to be held on March 7th. We ordinarily hold this event in September, but we receive feedback from our participants to hold it in a cooler part of the year. All interested parties can sign up on our website under events or call me at 409-833-2668, extension 110. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Albert Harrison, 1240 Ashley, Beaumont, Texas.
Mayor, City Council, other concerned citizens that are present. I somewhat hate to go into an issue that we discussed last year, which is the water department. For some reason or another, I went across the hall to ask a question and overheard a young lady, which is none of my business, but I think y'all need to be aware of it. The young lady was trying to establish and get an extension to pay her water bill, okay? I overheard her say, "Can I choose the date?" And the clerk said, "No, you have 10 days, and you have to request that." Now, nowhere do I remember you all approving or saying that you had to request the 10 days to make a late payment. Now, if y'all did, I apologize. But if that's the case, it need to be straightened out. Upon myself here, the issue I wish to raise is that my bill states and says, this account receives a senior citizen discount. Now, when I add up the current and previous bill and come to a particular sum as to what the bill should read, I do not see a discount. If it is, I don't see it. But the reading is the same as previous and current. So if I'm to get a discount, which the clerk says, and I asked the question, what kind of discount am I receiving? I think she said 2,400 gallons. I could be incorrect, but it's somewhere in that figure. So if that's the issue, what I'm saying is that I would like for it to be indicated on my bill and every other citizen's bill who gets a discount, because I don't see it. So that's what I'm requesting. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Charlie Crabb, 928 East Drive, Beaumont, Texas.
Ms. Broussard, do I have 30 minutes since I've missed 10 meetings?
Welcome back.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. Thank you all for your service. It's a wonderful world and a great day in Beaumont, our town. Well, my name's Charlie Crabb. I live at 928 East Drive, Beaumont, Texas, 77706. Right down at the west end of Harrison is East Drive. Let's see. Where am I at here? Oh, yeah. Well, it was good to hear the fire department has been able to hire new people with a new system they adopted. That's great. The city needs to change with the times. and I see one of our councilmen is planning on moving up to the south side. And it's great when a person does their time and due diligence and ready for new service to the community. It was good to hear on the news this morning the Alice Keith plan for the applying for a federal grant and what have you. And that's super for our, that's the time of thing we need for our community, is to improve our parks with, what do you call those things? Picnic tables and covers and basketball goals and playgrounds that families can enjoy. And I've been asked to mention Magnolia Avenue. The folks would like a new covering. They wanted concrete, but I told them they better ask for asphalt. A nice smooth layer of asphalt goes a long way. Okay, that's about all. I about run out of time, but it's nice to see the functions, all the employees of the city that function and keep the water run, the sewer run, the whatever you call those streets and drainage and everything else. They show up for work and do that for us. And thank everybody for your service and all the committee, the department heads that direct all this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Ariel Chapman, 1075 Pinchback Road, Beaumont, Texas.
Good afternoon, Council. This was actually pertaining to the, I'm not sure if we are there on the agenda yet for the public hearing for Timbers Edge Apartments for ITEX Group, but I will go ahead and read my statement. I want to begin by stating that all previously identified public health concerns for the property, they have been corrected. Temporary safeguards are currently in place to prevent any additional overflow incidents. So ownership is also preparing to begin construction improvements in the upcoming weeks to further stabilize the property. This was at the very end of the agenda, so I'm not sure.
That item's been pulled.
Okay. So do I still need to?
You can continue.
Am I good?
Good.
Well, look at God. Thank you. Thank you.
That's all I have, Mayor.
If there's no one else here for public hearings, at this point, we're going to move into the consent agenda. And we're going to remove item F so that we can just have a little bit more discussion on it, because there's been television interviews and everything else. We're going to have staff present the information they have on item F. So if I could get a motion and a second for approval of the consent agenda minus item F. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
There is a motion and a second for approval of the consent agenda, removing item F. Is there any further discussion? Yes, Councilman Duria.
So are we going to vote on item F separately, or are we just pulling it?
Yeah, and we're going to vote on it separately and
Okay.
just have, so that they can kind of give us an update on the work that's been done to prepare it, and make sure people are getting good information. Anything else? All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. Mr. City Manager, may we have the reading of item number F?
Thank you, Mayor.
Council to consider a resolution approving the City of Beaumont's request to submit a $1.9 million grant application to Texas Parks and Wildlife by way of legislative rider, sponsored by State Representative Christian Manuel for Alice Key Park enhancements. And it comes with the recommendation of approval of the resolution.
All right, before we move into discussion, can I have a motion on item F?
Move to approve. Second.
There is a motion and a second on item number F. And there may be some questions from council, but beforehand, could we get a report from, I think, June's Assistant City Manager Ellis?
I'm going to ask staff to come up and give an overview. Halima Wilson, she's the city's grants coordinator, as well as Kenneth Regat, the Parks, Green Space, and Facilities Maintenance Director. They can both give an update on this item.
Good afternoon. So the plan is for us to develop enhancements at Alice Key Park that include 2 pavilions with benches underneath, as well as converting 2 existing basketball courts tennis courts into 1 basketball and 1 pickleball court. In addition to that, we'll have a designated soccer field, and with that, we'll have to raise the fence to make sure we're not interfering with the neighbors. And we'll have a designated football field there as well. In addition to those improvements, we'll have a drinking water fountain between both of the pavilions, and we'll also have an addition made to the community center that already exists. That addition will include a space for a computer lab that will house 15 to 20 students at a time, as well as 3 individual spaces for audio recording, such as podcasts or musical or whatever the community needs at that point.
Thank you. And Mr. Regat.
Also, I'd like to add that we're going to put in a new playground as well. It's actually going to have rubber flooring, which was one thing that Councilman Crenshaw had mentioned. Right now, we only have it at Rotary Park, so it would be accessible by all in the city. Also, a new splash pad will also be installed over there, as well as renovations to the restrooms.
Thank you very much. And does anybody have questions of either one of them? Yes. Councilman Durio.
Understand that some repairs and improvements are needed at the pool there as well. Would that be addressed? No.
Actually, in 2028, if I'm not mistaken, we have funds already allocated toward going the pool repairs, but we'll probably address some issue like the fencing. I know we've had some issues with the fencing, but for the pool itself, not at this time, not under this funding.
Okay.
Yes, and I'll add to that, Councilman Dirio. Mr. Regat is correct. In our current CIP, Community Investment Plan, we do have funding, and these are certificates of obligation dollars, and they've been funded in the current fiscal year for Alice Keith Park, and the year is 2028 that we have those dollars available. So work is planned to be done at the pool at that location.
Okay, thank you.
Councilman Turner.
Mayor, I just wanted to take the moment out to recognize and shout out Nathan Hawkins. And the reason I want to take the time out to do this, my brother, in front of everybody is I remember about 6 years ago when me and Chris Durio, we came to a South Park block party. Christian was actually running for election. And you told him your vision, your concerns, and some of the things you want to see happen in the South Park community because of the crime rate and some things that's going on with the kids and just some things that wasn't going on. The grant was applied for before. It wasn't successful. Applied for a second time, wasn't successful. Well, God showed us the third time it was. And just for that persistence, for what you stand for in the community, I respect you for that. And I want to let you know publicly in front of everybody, when you work hard and you stay persistent, you can get good results. So I respect you and thank you for what you've done for your community, man. Much respect.
Did an excellent interview yesterday on Channel 6. And I noticed that there's been a little bit of misinformation in the midst of the correct information. This was something that the House passed that State Representative Christian Manuel had presented, as Councilman Turner had said on prior occasions too, but he'd been working on it. And then the Senate passed it and the governor had signed it. This all occurred in the last legislative session. So that money's already been allocated. It is state money designated for here. And the part of this had to be determined on the direction that money was going to be going on so that it would be presented to council for a resolution to receive it. So it's not new to us knowing that it was coming because it was reported earlier, but now we're seeing it come to life. So, and we certainly want to thank the staff for all y'all's hard work, and because once these decisions are made, then you got to figure out what it's going to look like and how far you can stretch that dollar. So thank you.
Mayor?
Yes.
I also want to thank Mr. Hawkins. When I first got on council, not only was this a dream of his, he already had all the plans drawn up. Everything they wanted to out there, where it needs to be, all of that. And he never stopped. Every time he would see us, he would remind us about it. And hey, but I mean, you know what? Hey, that's what you got to do. He kept it on everybody's mind. And finally, you know, with the parks deal not passing on the bond, but we said, hey, we got this money. Let's see what we can do with it. And so we contacted Representative Manuel, and that's where we are right now. And we had a meeting, and we got together with Nate, myself, AJ, and I think LaDonna was there, and Mr. Raggett, and Miss Williams. And we went out to the park, and we walked around, and we sat down and said, hey, we want to do this. And we went out to Alice Key Park, and we walked around there and said, hey, we can do this here, we can do that there. And I just want to say that to say thank you, staff, because y'all can make this happen. Appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
All right. One more.
Yes, Councilman Crenshaw.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is wonderful news, and well done to staff for following through and getting this done, and everyone else out there in the community that helped us with it. So when does this kick off? When do we break ground on the improvements?
Well, we're already out getting bids, and design work is being done now for the playground, splash pad, and things like that. So once we get enough designs and bids in, we'll present it to Mr. Hawkins and basically go from there.
So we think we could have some of these improvements started and maybe done by summer?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
most
great.
definitely.
Great. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thanks.
Mayor, just
Council.
once we get the official notification
City Manager, yes.
from the state council member, we'll be ready to go. We'll be moving as quickly as possible. I'd like to thank Representative Manuel for this work, because this is he listened to the community, Mr. Hawkins and the council members, and this money was designated just for this area by the state legislature. They designated the dollars specifically for this area, so. I commend him and everyone who's worked on the project.
All right. Thank y'all. If there's no other discussion, all those in favor of, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. Mr. City Manager, I'm going to take things out of order. If we could have the reading of item number 6, please.
Council consider a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an interlocal agreement with ExxonMobil Corporation for the Todd Street and Josie Street Sanitary Sewer Improvements Project, and it comes with the recommendation of approval of the resolution.
All right, is there a motion for item number 6?
Move to approve.
There is a motion and a second for approval of item number 6. Is there any discussion?
I have a question.
Yes, Councilman Hilliard.
So if I read this right, Mobile will pay up to $300,000. So what if they get underground like we see a lot and they find out that there's more that needs to be done? Will the city be on the hook for that money?
Yes, that is the plan. The cost estimate we prepared was at about $300,000. We have available funding if it ends up exceeding that amount in our annual sewer line replacement to meet the needs to complete the work, but ExxonMobil will not be required to pay more than the $300,000.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilman Turner?
Can you kind of explain to residents who may not understand the interlocal agreement and kind of what it's about and how does it work?
It's just agreements between two entities. It's no different from any other agreement. We've outlined the terms of the agreement like any other contractual agreement. We've outlined and explained what they're responsible for, what we're responsible for, the terms and conditions. It's nothing fancy.
All right, and my follow-up question is, just with this particular project, it won't be a drastic impact on neighbors, or is something we can kind of anticipate, or what's some things that people can see so they know what may be coming?
They will see a regular pipe bursting project to do the sewer line replacement that ExxonMobil needs in order to be able to safely discharge to the city's sanitary sewer system. So the neighbors that are connected to that line at the end of the project should see an improvement to their service, especially in rain events.
So it can help additionally with flooding and things of that magnitude. Though it's benefiting the entity, it's also benefiting the community.
Yes, sir, not necessarily flooding, but for sewer backups in that area.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, if there's no other discussion, all those in favor of approval of item number 6, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. Now we will move back to item number 1. Mr. City Manager, may we have the reading?
Sure. Back to that page. Council consider resolution authorizing the city manager to award a contract to Texas Materials Group, Inc., of Beaumont for the Highland Avenue roadway rehabilitation project. And it comes with the recommendation of approval of the resolution.
Is there a motion for item number 1?
Move for approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
There is a motion and a second for approval of item number 1. This has been something that was been talked about since perhaps I even got on almost 3 years ago. So I know there's a lot of people excited about this. Is there any discussion? Yes, Councilman Turner.
Pastor Kenny Andrews, if you're watching, we're voting on it today.
He sent out a text this morning. He said he wished he could have been here, but he really didn't know we were voting on it.
Yes.
Haven't we already started on this project?
We started on the storm sewer cleaning and as part of the engineering process, and we were able to restore flow capacity to that storm sewer. And we've seen a reduction in flooding complaints along Highland Avenue. So we've already started to see some benefit to this work.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if there's no other discussion, all those in favor of item number 1, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. Mr. City Manager, may we have the reading of item number 2?
Council to consider an ordinance authorizing the city to participate in the regulatory proceedings for Entergy Texas, Inc. in 2026, and that comes with the recommendation of approval of the ordinance.
Is there a motion for item number 2?
Motion we approve.
There is a motion and a second for approval of item number 2. Is there any discussion? Councilman Durkin?
I just want somebody to explain exactly what all this means for our citizens and myself.
So this is something that council does pretty regularly. We routinely reject their initial offer to allow us to negotiate for better terms. So this is essentially the same process that council has taken several times before to just make sure that we negotiate the best rates possible for our citizens. And I think I've used this example before, but the city is a part of a steering committee. There are several other cities within our area that negotiate energy rates on behalf of our citizens. so that they don't have to search for competitive energy, like in Houston
That's-
and some of the other cities.
That's why that's not available here.
Yes, so, but what that does offer is that when everybody else's power is getting shut off, ours isn't.
Sounds good.
So we don't have to operate on them having competitive rates amongst themselves with multiple companies. We actually negotiate on behalf of our citizens to ensure they get the best, lowest rate possible without them having to form shop. So we routinely reject the initial first option to allow for them to engage in other negotiations. That's it.
So the regulatory proceedings, that's the negotiations.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, so this ordinance that you will be doing today will allow or give access for our utilities council to operate on our behalf in those negotiations. Like I said, we work as a collective, so there are several other cities in that steering committee that basically increases our strength for negotiation.
Okay, thank you.
For the, yes, because there's multiple. You want to explain the steering committee a little bit more?
Yes, so the steering committee consists of several other cities in our area. So basically, Beaumont, Port Arthur, Orange, Sour Lake, Liberty, all of those areas around.
Stronger together.
Yes, sir. So all of those collective cities within that space, Southeast Texas and beyond, participate in the steering committee. They also have, what we consider as negotiations on behalf of their citizens.
That's okay.
All right, if there's no other discussion, all those in favor of approving item number 2, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. Mr. City Manager, may we have the reading of item number 3?
Council, consider a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute supplemental agreement number 1 to the Advanced Funding Agreement, AFA, with the Texas Department of Transportation. And it comes with the recommendation of approval of the resolution.
Is there a motion for item number 3?
Second.
There is a motion and a second for approval of item number 3. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of approving item number 3, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. Mr. City Manager, may we have the reading of item number 4?
Council, consider a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a contract with McGuire Iron Inc. of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And it's a recommendation of approval of the resolution.
Is there a motion for item number 4?
Second.
There's a motion and a second for item number 4. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of approving item number 4, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. Mr. City Manager, would you take us into the work session? We're setting a record so far.
Council to review and discuss reforming the Beaumont Animal Control Advisory Board.
And I'm going to, Councilman Crenshaw, and it was seconded by Councilman Turner. So I'm going to defer to Councilman Crenshaw. However, I do want to begin by saying that currently the mayor makes those appointments, but I have no problem at all with the entire council having appointments. And then it's just a matter of the discussion on how that would be created. But Councilman Crenshaw.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Other than maybe the water department, I would think that the Beaumont Animal Shelter is one of the main sources of concerns and complaints that I get as a councilman. And I think our Beaumont Animal Shelter does a great job working with the resources that they have. And so I do want to commend our staff. It's not an easy job, and resources are very limited. But with any government entity, there's always room for improvement, right? And so I've researched a little bit about our current committee, and it is, I think, state law that every city that has a city-ran shelter has to have certain minimum requirements. And it looks like last year we did not meet the minimum number of meetings. And so I am proposing a bigger, larger, improved committee to bring in more animal advocates, more hopefully some rescue groups. Is there a chance that Carlos Davis was able to make it here today? I know he's running a little behind, understood. And so my proposal is right now it's a 7-member committee. I would like to expand that to 15 members. That would allow each council member then to have an appointee. So that would be 6 new members to the committee. In addition, we already by state law have to have advocates. I'm also asking that we have 2 additional positions for people that run rescues. Because the mission of the rescues are so important to what we're able to do with animals in our community. And I think having those 2 positions, and while there is a residency requirement that everyone on the committee generally reside in the city limits, I would ask for the rescue spots, for the 2 spots, if that is ultimately approved by the council, that we not have a residency requirement, because this gentleman, Carlos Davis, who is of the Animal Rescue Kingdom, I believe lives in the Houston area. And Mr. Mayor, he was at the last committee meeting that we had, and he just has a wealth of knowledge about how other cities' policies and procedures that they have, and I think that he would just be, and if he's willing, would be a great addition to that committee and a great resource. So again, I'm asking that we expand the committee from 7 to 15. Each council member would have their own person that they would be able to appoint, and that we then have 2 members from rescues. Another person that I think would be great from a rescue organization is here in the audience today, Ms. Kristen Beal. She is actually a resident of Ward 1, and she operates the 3W Farm and Rescue Ranch Rescue, and does a great job. And again, these are just people that I've talked to that are interested in serving and would like to do more. And with an improved committee and larger committee, I would leave it up to the committee as to how often they meet. But I would certainly hope that we expand it from the minimum of 3 meetings a year to 6. Maybe there's a chance they can start off at the beginning by meeting once a month until some of these more immediate needs are met. But at a minimum, we would have a meeting every other month. And again, this committee, improved and expanded, can make some additional recommendations to the council and to the director of the Beaumont Animal Shelter about ways that we can improve our policies and procedures to do a better job. And then at some point, I think that it's important that we look at what we can do to increase staff. I think that our shelter is doing as good of a job as they can with the resources they have, but I think that they're desperately in need of additional staff. And I don't want to increase staff and have to raise taxes. So I would like for the committee to look at what other cities are doing to have fees and revenue that would fund that staff without us having to increase the budget and take that money away from other places or raise taxes. And I believe that there are other funding structures that would allow us to do that. Lastly, I think that we had the animal shelter was part of the bond package that failed. And so I think that in moving forward in the future, if we are going to maybe have a temporary or improvements on our current facility, which we desperately need, we need more room. I'm hoping that legally, if we were able to expand fees, that's new money, that's not borrowed money, and that would get us around being able to do that. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. You just can't issue additional debt.
Okay, so we just can't borrow that money to make the improvements, but if we had additional revenue from fees, that could be used to expand and improve on existing facilities.
Okay.
Great. And with that said, I would hope that with some of these changes, we can really see some improvements in policy in our policies and procedures, and make some additional strides to protect our animals, improve our spay and neuter programs, ensure that all animals that can be vaccinated are properly vaccinated, and we get some additional resources out there to get the spay and neuter program done. And with that, that's kind of the overview of what I'd like to see happen, and I hope to have the support of my fellow members of council to make this happen.
Thank you, Councilman. And Councilman Hillier, then Councilman Turner, then Councilman Durio, and I'll get over here if y'all.
Well, one of the things that was brought up was having a place on the water bill where people could actually give extra money, check a box and say, I want to give $100 to the Beaumont Animal Shelter, if that's a viable option that we could do without having to raise fees on, let it be a voluntary thing. The people of Beaumont love to help and to give, and that's what makes, part of what makes our city so amazing. So that's another avenue that we could explore.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Turner?
Man, I just want to shout out Councilmember Crenshaw. I got tagged on social media, and I called him kind of early in the morning while I was getting my kids together for school, and he came up with the idea and asked me what I supported. I said I would love to. Another thing that I did see in another community, I noticed our city attorney said, long as it's not additional revenue, well, it can be additional revenue that can go to it. I seen a parks gala that a city put on or elected officials put on, and you can also do things like an animal shelter gala where we can kind of raise funds for things to this magnitude. I'm just trying to think of creative ways that we can raise revenue so it doesn't have to go to the voters or be a burden on the tax base. But one thing I do support as well is I do think our animal shelter does a great job with the limited resources, but I do advocate as well for additional support. One thing I notice even on the weekends when it comes to rescues, you know, with the amount of staff they have, is limited staff, and they can't stretch as far as we may need them to stretch. So I am in support if we can look at some ways within the budget or reallocate some funds within the budget that may not be utilized to go towards giving more support to the staff of the animal shelter. I think that would be a good idea if we can. But I just want to say social media can be used as a beautiful tool when we use it right. And I think this was one of them instances where social media was actually productive for something positive in our community. And new appointments don't necessarily mean a bad thing. What it does is you give people who may have a certain perspective an opportunity to peek behind the curtains of the hard work you guys do every day. And maybe that perspective be way more positive when they get to put first hands on board on how hard y'all work daily. And I know because I've seen it. So thank y'all for being open to it.
Thank you, Councilman Turner. Councilman Durio.
I just want to make sure I'm correct. So each council member will get one appointment to the committee. Okay, that's another thing that they seem to be short-staffed. I get a lot of calls about that, where they'll need somebody from animal control to come out, and they might come out that day, they might not. They just don't have the people, so we'll have to look into that, I think. Getting more staff so he'll be more responsive to the community. So when they call 311, somebody shows up to come take care of their problem.
Thank you, Councilman. All right.
I was just going to add, I just got a text from Energy that they will sponsor the pet shelter gala that Councilman Turner has. So there's our first sponsor.
Thank you, Councilman. And I know that on the 22nd of January, there was a very productive meeting of the Beaumont Animal Control Advisory Board. And several council people were able to be there. And hopefully in the future, we'll be able to get that kind of number and participation as well. I thought it was a productive meeting. All right. With that, if there's no other discussions, we'll just wait for that to get brought back to us. We are at the end of our agenda other than council member comments. And I think it's Councilman Durio's time to go first.
Only thing I want to say is I want to once again thank Mr. Hawkins for bringing his vision to us for South Park and for us to come together and do what council's supposed to do. We're supposed to find ways to fix problems, and that's what we did. It took a little while, but we're going to get it done. Also, I want to thank city staff for their work during a cold weather outbreak. You know, getting folks to warming stations and making sure everybody was taken care of and, you know, keeping them warm and getting them fed and moving them around where they needed to go. We made it through really, I think, just from seeing other parts of the country, we made it through fairly well. And I think some of that is because our staff and EOC was prepared. That's what they do. They prepare for this and they done a great job. So I think I just wanted to say thank you and keep up the good work. And also, could somebody look into the 10-day water bill extension? Is that something that has to be requested, or is that something that they automatically get?
So there's a 10-day grace period before the late fee is applied. It doesn't have to be inquired. It's just there's no late fee assessed until after the 10 days. If you want an extension to pay, that's something separate.
Okay. All right. That's all I have.
That's all you have?
I'll let you know.
All right, Councilman Hilliard.
Molly, can I get an update on our quiet zones?
So the construction for the Quiet Zone project began on January 12th. Contractors completing the work in phases. So they're going to work on 2 railroad crossings at a time, get those completely done. This is being done this way in order to maintain safety and coordination with the railroad operations. And so currently they're working on the Keith Road and Todd Street crossings. Now with the delays due to the weather and this ongoing coordination with the railroad track and their flagging operations and contractor availability, the anticipated completion date is somewhere between late March and early April.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And this is something I had brought up when I had first gotten on council, but looking into a charter change committee. I really would like to see us move in that direction and kind of tweak the charter up a little bit. I would like to see term limits on council and some other things that I think that each of us has something we'd like to see done different. But other than that, I don't believe, did we have any fatalities due to hypothermia in Beaumont? I think that's a win. I think that our city did a good job of making sure our less fortunate are taken care of and that we provided them a roof and a warm place. And, you know, the animal shelter working to get the pets of the homeless taken care of, was pretty awesome. So we did as a city, and I think we should be very proud of that. And so I just want to say thank you. And, you know, I dealt with Demi again this past week with their office, and they did a fantastic job. And I want to say thank you for all the help that you've given me through this transition. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Turner.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Manager, if you can check into the senior citizen water bill breakdown, maybe if it's something that we can kind of explain or make sure our seniors that are getting that discount, not only the gentleman that came, but they kind of understand what it entails. If we can get an update on it, or maybe I can get an email if we can't answer it today, well, I can kind of relate that to the resident. I seen that mic come on, so.
So I just want to clarify. So it doesn't show on the water bills as a negative amount as a discount because it's a discounted rate structure that senior citizens get. So it doesn't show like you might expect as a negative, but it's just a different rate structure.
Okay.
A discounted rate structure.
And I think that's great, but maybe we should put out a video through our marketing department just to kind of explain that, because if it's $300 and they probably think it's $10 off, it doesn't show. But if the rate structure is different, that's a whole different conversation. And I think it's important we kind of educate them on how that works. So
yeah, we'll figure out the best way to communicate that, whether it's on the bill itself or it's something we need to do with a campaign. But we'll communicate that, how it's done, and how much it is.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. I appreciate that. And thank you, staff, for explaining that. Again, want to shout out Nathan Hawkins for persistency and, you know, getting it done nice amount of years. And shout out to State Rep Christian Manuel, because like you said, a lot of people show up and say they're going to do something, but he was persistent and he actually did it. So, And Mr. Kennedy Andrews, I can't go on Highland without him stopping me about the road on Highland around Lamar University. Literally, he would text me at least every other month for updating us. See, we actually voted on it today. You know, it speaks volumes. Another thing, the staff, I noticed today in the consent agenda, a lot of grants. And I just want to say shout out to our grant coordinator because it was a nice amount of money that I added up with grants, whether it be Energy, HEB, the Foundation of Southeast Texas, the Park Grant, and I seen something with our police department project with Safe Neighborhoods. So I love to see that because there's money out there that's available that we're competing for. And if we don't go after it, other people will get it and take advantage of that. And lastly, you know, shout out to my colleague, Corey, you know, for even proposing the change, and shout out to the mayor for being open to it because now not only did we come up with a change for the animal committee, but we actually got a gala that we're going to get off the ground. So I'm looking forward to that. And lastly, you know, I don't have to say a name, but just being an elected official is not easy. Got to have tough skin. To whom much is given, much is required. It ain't about what they say. You know who you for. So you don't have to get caught up in all of it, all right? Block out the noise and just keep doing the work.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Williams.
Yeah, great job to everybody involved on the Alice Keith project. Anytime we can upgrade our city with state dollars, that's a win for everyone. And wanted to recognize Baptist Hospital and the opening of their new cancer facility. I had the chance to tour it a couple weeks ago, and it really is first class, and it's going to really benefit, you know, people throughout Southeast Texas that maybe no longer have to travel to Houston for treatment. And third, I'll echo Councilman Hilliard. I would like to, on the Charter Review Committee, just to see where we stand. And I know we had one a few years ago, and what the timing of convening such committee and how that would happen and what the schedule timeline would look like. So any updates on that would be appreciated. That's it.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Sherwood.
Congratulations, classmate. Good job. Way to stay committed, way to persevere, way not to give up. Congratulations, Ward 3. Every time I go down the street, I see ditching projects underway. We have projects being completed as far as sewage and drainage is concerned. And happy Black History Month. We're celebrating a history of tradition and culture rooted in strength, resilience, and perseverance. Our first community prayer will be this Thursday at Harvest for the Lost Souls, 3395 Highland at 6 p.m. Let's get to work, Beaumont.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Crenshaw.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I guess as my first comment, I would like to ask that we put on the March 3rd agenda an action vote for the improved committee for the animal shelter, please. And Carlos, you're a little late to the meeting, but it's okay. We've been bragging on you while you were making the drive from Houston, and we appreciate you being here today. I believe you've taken over 100 dogs from the Beaumont to be rescued with your organization. Is that what you told us at the first meeting? That's about monthly. Wow. Wow. So we greatly appreciate it. You've got a wealth of knowledge and all kinds of great ideas. So I'm going to hit you up after this meeting about serving on the committee, and I hope that you will accept that, please, sir, and help us make our situation for our animals here better in Beaumont. Anything else? Oh, and my second, Mr. Turner, will you please, Councilman Turner, will you please join me on seconding the item agenda for March 3rd?
Second.
Great, great. And then lastly, on the water bills, it's my understanding that this isn't so much a senior discount as it was a rate freeze, right? And so I thought that we froze the rates that were increasing for senior accounts. So it's not like when you go to Casa Olay and you have a senior discount of 15%. It's your rate was frozen before we did increases.
Yeah, we had the discount first, I think. We had
Okay,
the
so we
senior
did have a
discount.
discount.
Yes,
Okay.
we had the senior.
But
yeah.
then this council froze rates, right? Or
Then we came back this last budget year and froze the rates for senior citizens.
Okay, I think that maybe has contributed to some of the confusion. So, yes, and especially citizens like Sammy Parigi out in the audience who's elderly and would like to get his water rates frozen and discounted if possible. So, I promise you, Mr. Parigi, we'll be sure that the water bills reflect your discount moving forward. So, with that said, I look forward to all the great things we voted on and discussed today. And thank you, city staff, for your great job during the freeze. While Beaumont was very fortunate and blessed that we did not have any ice, and staff did a great job. I believe Energy didn't have any power outages in the Beaumont area. At least at one point, I got an update that there were 0 outages, and staff did a great job. So thank you all.
Thank you, Councilman. Madam City Attorney.
Yes, sir. First, I'd like to start by saying congratulations to United Way of Beaumont for hosting an amazing luncheon this afternoon and for exceeding their goal. I'd also like to take a personal point of privilege and say congratulations to my baby brother Jarvis on being awarded their Heart of Service or Heart of Champion award this afternoon. And thank you to everyone who participated in that campaign. They were able to exceed their fundraising goal. And it's just a great thing to see people committed to giving back to our community and giving back to organizations like United Way that pour back into the less fortunate.
Thank you, Madam City Attorney. Yes. Public Works.
Howdy. So 2 quick updates. The South 23rd Street road closure, due to the weather, that opening has been postponed until February the 12th. And then I'm happy to report that the contractor has started paving on Pine Street. So this long section that has been waiting for paving is underway. Thank you.
No, it just got moved to February 12th.
The South 23rd Street. Yes.
About it. So it will now reopen on February 12th?
When I spoke to the owner of the contracting company on Friday, he said that February the 12th. And at any time, our prolonged road closures that are going to last in excess of 48 hours, if you go to the Public Works website on the city's webpage, there is a large box that says road closures. You can click on that. There is a Google map, and you can click on any of the red road segments, and it'll give you a quick overview of the project and when that road is scheduled to be opened. And so that is a live map. As we receive updates, we update that map.
Thank you.
Mayor, can I ask Molly something?
No, go ahead.
No question, Molly. I just want to tell you that they started the road work, the ditching drainage project on Phelps Road, and the neighbors seem to be pretty satisfied because they're doing like one driveway at a time, and they don't really have to shut down the street. And they're doing each driveway, getting it done in a day, and it's moving pretty fast.
Excellent. Thank you.
Assistant City Manager Boone.
Nothing, Mayor. Thank you.
Assistant City Manager Ellis. Okay.
Real quick, just wanted to remind everyone of the 5-day charrette that's coming up, starting on Monday. And real quick, a charrette is an interactive meeting. Basically, it brings in community stakeholders, residents, and everyone to gather input prior to doing a plan or drafting a plan. That's why it's important for everyone to come out. It's 5 days long. We're going to be going here in downtown, all across town. If you guys want any information on that, please visit planbeaumont.com.
Thank you. Our city clerk, Mr. City Manager.
Mayor, just on behalf of my rescue raider dog, I'd like to thank the city council for the gala that he's going to attend, and we're going to dress him up. He really likes to put on clothes, and this will give him an opportunity to dress up.
But does he really like it, or does your wife just like put?
She likes to dress him up, okay? But anyway, I too would like to commend our emergency management group. Beaumont's really fortunate to have a top quality emergency management team. And it's not something that just started for years. Beaumont's been known as one of the better emergency management operations around the state of Texas. Even before I got here, I heard about it. Matter of fact, I interacted with them some because I was emergency coordinator in another county. So I commend them for their work. They're very professional in what they're doing. They have things laid out. And, nobody can go against anything, but I feel confident in the work that they do.
Thank you, Mr. City Manager. And again, Shaquina Nobles is our emergency management coordinator, and she does an amazing job. And I get to observe, and it is quite an operation across all the city departments. And I just want you to know that you should be proud of your city staff on the work that they do, making things go as well as they do, and also continuing to check on those that are medically fragile, that it's reported to the city that we're aware of through STEER. And I see our fire chief back there, and it's through the fire department that most of those contacts are made, which can be pretty heavy lifting, but it's certainly important. And but there's a lot of work to do. I know I went out to the shelters on a couple of the nights where it was freezing, and both Henry's Place as well as Home Sweet Home with the Salvation Army, as well as Warm Hands and Warm Hearts Church on 11th Street and Beaumont Street Pets. All true collaboration, and they work so well together. And, and city staff, our ZIP operating, as well as Beaumont Police, I know that they're out there as well. When they observe homeless on those cold nights, they reach out to them to see if they need assistance in getting from point A to point B. So, obviously, with our homeless community, there are some that choose not to go inside, which is certainly their right. But I know that city staff and these 501c3s really work hard to bring people inside, at least on those really cold nights, as well as providing shelter for the pets. Warm Hands and Warm Hearts opened up their shelter for people to bring them. They had crates there, but Beaumont Street Pets was able to raise a good bit of money. That also they put people that were homeless in hotel rooms with their pets for a number of days. So, it's one of those things that's not seen a lot, but a lot of good work's done. A lot of people care and do it behind the scenes. A lot of donations were made to those charitable organizations during that time, to the point where at some point, I almost wanted to say, we got so much right now. It's cold and we're trying to sort through it. But they were very appreciative. And I also want to add Nathan Hawkins. I met him when I was running for office several years ago, and he has been persistent, but he's also done it with patience. And he's been very faithful. And, we see other people do this. It's really nice when it works out, but it was through his patience. I never saw him get frustrated throughout that process, and things did take a while, but it's certainly a win. And our state reps, it's really important because it wouldn't have happened without Christian Manuel continuing to step up on that. And again, United Way, their Empty Bowls luncheon was today. United Way does so much important work. They always have been, but with some of the grant reductions, they've stepped up and offered more. And I just want to point out that our city attorney came in first individually on raising the most money today for the Women in Red. So we owe her some applause. And her brother also was an award winner, so they were kind of walking away with all the prizes today. But I don't think anybody was upset about it. And with that, at 2:39 p.m., the meeting is adjourned.
That's
Yeah.
one of my best friends.
Oh, really?
We all grew up together.